Augustine Tamale are my names, and still continuing on the issue of how we can survive during these tough times as families, as homes. It's clear that there is pressure on our costs. Last year I was buying fuel at about 3,000. Now a liter of petrol has moved to 6,520. Depending on your location could have a higher cost. You see, when I explain inflation figures, they may not make much sense to some individuals because the base year used to compute it may not show you exactly what you are feeling in your pocket. So if I put inflation at 6.8%, you may not feel it. If I say that for energy, utilities and fuel, it's at about between 10 and 11%, you still don't realize it because the liter of petrol is double where it was. So for you are believing that the inflation is at 100% because that is the item you are consuming in that basket of energy, fuel and utilities. That's the item you are consuming of petrol. So you're not using the average. You're saying, no. These figures are not clear. It should be 100% since it has doubled. But that's the situation. Whichever way you see it, we are all feeling the pain. But this is a time for resilience, a time for us to work out how we are going to navigate these tough waters, and then we reach the calm ones sometime in the next financial year. That's when I expect things to have fully calmed down in the next financial year. So around July 2023, things should have eased or be starting to ease. So in a home, I'm still trying to assume that you are married. If you are single, if there are other siblings of yours who are single, you need to stay together then, so that I address you together. If you are going to navigate this tough time alone, then some of the solutions I'm suggesting will not work. They require joint effort. So this is a time for financial unity. At times in a home, people are pursuing different financial objectives. You can find a husband is interested in easing his transport problems to acquire a vehicle, and the wife is thinking about the accommodation and is saving money for land, to buy land. Now, if you are scattered in that way, you take longer to attain either of the two. If it's buying a vehicle or motorcycle, you're going to take longer because it's one person saving towards it. Then the other one also is saving towards land. That one is also going to take longer. So by the time even you get the land, you are still even tenants. So you are still paying the rent. You are still using public transport. So your expenditure is still high because there is no financial unity. If your siblings, each of you is living separately, you are all renting. Why? This is a time, if you are both not married, to rent one apartment. You save on rent. This is the time for financial unity. As siblings, as spouses, this is the moment for financial unity. Let me tell you, if you look at the Southeast Asians, that's the Indians and others, as you usually call them, look at them, they have financial unity. You can never find those siblings here in Kampala living in different homes, unless they are married. But at times, even when they are married, they rent on the same block and bargain a lump sum thing. So this is a time for financial unity. Maybe even as siblings, you could rent a semi-detached house. One couple is in another wing, another is in the second wing. Why not save on that? But this is a time for financial unity, so that when you put the resources together, you will able pull off an objective and you save costs earlier than you would if you are working on a particular financial objective alone. Let me say this, even in buying items, People who are buying in bulk are considered to be retailers who are buying from a wholesaler. So if you are buying small quantities for you as an individual, you are going to spend much more money. But as the entire family and you buy in bulk, the prices will be lower because they will be at a wholesale rate. Well, if there's nobody to unite with, can you consider bulk purchases so that you can save on what your expenditure is? Buying a kilo of sugar is more expensive than buying a sack of sugar, 50 kilograms or 25 kilograms. You will spend less money per kilogram, and this will be very, very helpful. Let me say, this is a time also for prioritizing. Probably you are constructing and you are not about to finish the construction in this very year. It's going to take you probably more 4 years. So you just want to lay a foundation, then later you will handle the walls maybe next year. Then the other year you will look at the roofing probably. But at this time, you are spending on cement, you are spending on iron bars when the price is so high. Could you consider postponing that expenditure? Because it's a time for prioritizing what is key right now. Probably you don't need even to consume the money, and you invest it in a unit trust so that it keeps earning interest. You can even consider the unit trust in foreign currency. It will still give you a better return than the local currency one. So consider that and see the critical things you must spend on now. If you just spend, you are constructing a house at a very high cost when someone in a year or two will build it at a lower cost and save money for some other cause.